Hello everybody, welcome to the second part of the animations tutorial. I know it's been quite a long time since I've done the part one, but I have been quite busy, so I couldn't make a tutorial for a while. But anyways, so the second part, and this is going to be the scripting side of the animations. In part one I taught you how to actually make the animation, but in this part I'll tell you how to actually play the animation on your character. So we're going to make it so that the player will have a tool. So into starter pack, insert a tool. Then I'm going to make it so that, in fact, I don't even have to have a tool. I could do it like this. Into starter pack, insert local script. This is just teaching you how to actually insert the character. Insert the animation into the character, make it play. You can you can do this in any way. You can make it so that when they step onto something, they animate. When they click on with the tool, they animate. When they click on a GUI button, they animate the character. But I'm just gonna make it so that when the player clicks the button, they shall animate. So player equals game.players.local player. Okay, because we're in a local script, we can get the local player. Then we need to get the mouse. Mouse equals player get mouse. Okay. Then we can do mouse dot button one down connect function. Okay. So when the player clicks their left clicks on their mouse, we shall call this piece of code. If you don't know how to do these things, events and functions, then you should probably watch my previous tutorials before watching this one. So when they click the mouse, we need to, in fact, let's call the local script animate character script. Quite a long name for a script. And then right click onto the script, insert object animation. So before we actually before we get the animation ready, we need to actually get the ID of the animation, because we can see here animation ID. We're going to need the ID of the animation. Okay, so to do that, we need to go into our Roblox browser, or go to your web browser, go to roblox.com, go to develop, click onto animations, click onto the animation that you just made. Well, here's my animation called Peas. Here's the ID inside the URL. Just get the number bit on the end, the ID, copy, and back to Studio. Inside animation ID, just paste that in there. In fact, I'm not sure if that will work like that. Think you might need to type in the full URL, the actual asset. I'm going to show you what it is here. So it's http:// www.roblox.com/asset $ID equals, and then paste your ID right there. I'm not sure if the HTTP stuff is needed, but just put it in there anyway. So yes, that's the URL you are going to need with your ID on the end. Copy that, stick it into animation ID property of your animation, hit enter. Okay, now you've done that, we are ready to animate. So let's say animation equals script.animation, because that's what we've just put into the script. Here we go, here's our animation. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to say enabled equals false. Okay, so enabled equals false. What we're going to do is when the player is animating, then we are going to set enabled to false. Enabled equals true. When the player is animating, when the player is animating, enabled is going to be false, so they can't animate it again, so they can't just keep playing the animation. But when the player is not animating, then we'll keep that enabled as true. So when they click the mouse, if enabled is true, then if enabled, then enabled equals false. Okay, so we're going to stop them from animating again until the animation is finished. Let's just, I don't know, wait 5 seconds, and then enabled back to true. You'd normally just wait however long your animation is, or I think there is something like a I think there's an event when the animation finishes. An event is called, and then you can kind of set enabled to true from there, but I'm gonna leave you to figure that one out on yourself. You can see the Roblox wiki for that if you want. Anyway, so what we need to do is we need to do animation track equals player dot character dot humanoid, and then we need to call the load animation function on the humanoid. So load animation. Okay, so we need to load the let's make that local, because we're in if statement. So animation track is the animation that has now been loaded into the humanoid, and what we can do is we can just really play that right now. We can just say animation track play, and that animation will play, and then after 5 seconds we can play it again. So that is pretty much, it's that simple. I'm gonna just hope this works, and I'm just gonna play game. Oops, that's the server. Here we go. Okay. Right, I'm going to go into view output. Animation is not a valid member of local script. Okay, that is because we need to do animation equals script colon wait for child animation, because the animation takes some time to load, so we need to wait for it, and hopefully this works now. I'm going to just click play, actually, it's much quicker. Right, hopefully this works. Output argument 1 missing or nil, line 13. I have made an error on line 13. Okay, player.character.humanoid load animation. Oh, I forgot the parameter, that's, or argument. Yeah, I forgot the argument. I forgot to pass in animation into the load animation function. Otherwise, like, what are we loading? We have to load something. We have to load an animation, and we're not giving it an animation to load, so that's why it errored. Okay, so now that should work. And then afterwards, I will do as I do on every tutorial, which is go through the entire script and explain it again if you missed out. Oh, here we go. Look at that. There we go. Haha, it animates. And you can see if I keep clicking, I have to wait until the 5 seconds is over, until it becomes enabled. See that? It works. Perfect. Perfect. Now I'm going to go over some bugs you might be having. Some people might be having some bugs, which they will probably leave in the comments, but I'm going to try and answer those questions now, because these are common things that will happen, that have happened to me before. So, if your arms do not move when you are walking and animating at the same time, then this is how to fix it. Open your animation editor. Oh well, I forgot to put block rig here. Open your animation editor again, just so you know how to do it. Click the plus sign. I just need to get the ID of my animation. So get the ID of your animation, import, copy and paste the ID. Here's your animation. What you need to do is you need to set the priority to, I think it's action. I think that's the highest priority. Action is the highest priority. I'm going to go check that here now. Let's have a look. Yeah, action is the highest priority. So if your animation had priority core or idle, or I don't know, set it to action so that your arms have the priority in the animation that you're using here over the walking animation. Okay, so that's all you need to do. And once you've done that, I think that's pretty much it. I guess I could go over some of the events that you could use with the animation. I've just opened a wiki. Let's have a look. There is an event which is animation track.keyframe reached. In fact, you can even go to view object browser, go into animation track, and you can see a list of events here. So when a keyframe is reached, it calls this event. I think that's the only event really that you could use. But yeah, try and play around with the keyframe reach event and see what you can do with that. but I've taught you enough in order to actually play your animation, which is all you need. So, people, go and get animating. That's the end of this tutorial. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you want to. I try to reply to, well, most comments, but sometimes I just forget and I just leave them. Anyway, I'll be off now. Goodbye, people.